Dragons appear in the mythology of nearly every civilization in human history, independently invented on every continent with no contact between them. Some breathe fire, some control rivers, some are worshipped as gods, some are feared as the end of the world. This is where the dragon designs you've seen in games and movies actually come from. Wyvern. 2 legs, wings for arms, faster than anything else in the sky. That's a wyvern. And you fought 100 of them without knowing the name. Monster Hunter built entire games around them. Game of Thrones used them as the cheaper, meaner cousin to a real dragon. But the detail the games never tell you. Wyverns started as a symbol, stitched onto medieval battle flags. Specifically because a venomous tail meant one hit could kill you before your army even reached the enemy line. It wasn't a creature people fought for sport. It was a warning stitched into fabric. Drake. Now take the wings away and add 2 more legs. That's a drake. And if you've played Skyrim, Elden Ring, or The Witcher, you've already fought one without the game bothering to explain the difference. No flight, pure ground combat, thick hide, crushing bite. The name Drake and the word dragon actually split from the exact same ancient root. But European folklore kept them separate on purpose. Drakes belonged underground, in mines, guarding literal veins of silver and gold. That's not a game invention. Entire mining towns in medieval Germany put dragon imagery on their town crest because their miners genuinely believed something down there was guarding the metal. Hydra. Then there's the one everyone secretly hates fighting, the Hydra. God of War put it on a beach and made you rip its heads off with your bare hands. Assassin's Creed Odyssey built a whole side quest around it, but the original Greek myth is meaner than any of those games let on. Cut off one head, 2 grow back, meaning attacking it head-on doesn't just fail, it actively makes your problem worse. Heracles only won by having someone burn each neck shut the second a head came off. That detail is where the phrase Hydra-headed problem comes from, something that punishes you for fighting it wrong. Eastern Dragon. Now flip everything you think you know. Shenron from Dragon Ball, Haku from Spirited Away, the Dragon Spirit in Raya, and the Last Dragon. All of them are Eastern dragons, and every single one breaks. The Western rulebook on purpose. No wings, doesn't need them, not hoarding gold, not guarding a cave. In Chinese mythology, dragons control rain, rivers, and the seasons. They're the reason your crops grow, not a threat to your village. Chinese emperors spent centuries claiming they were literally descended from dragons because being compared to one was the highest compliment in the empire. That's the exact opposite of what a dragon means everywhere else on this list. Classic dragon, smog type. That's the image in your head. The second someone says dragon, 4 legs, 2 wings, fire breath, sitting on more gold than a kingdom could spend. What The Hobbit didn't invent was the personality. That smart, greedy, terrifyingly patient hoarder archetype comes straight out of the Old English epic Beowulf, where the dragon guarding the treasure isn't mindless. It's furious, calculating, and it kills the hero in the final fight. Tolkien didn't create the classic dragon. He just gave the 1200-year-old one from Beowulf a name and a voice. Fafnir. Here's one you felt the influence of, without ever hearing its name, Fafnir, from Norse mythology. He wasn't born a dragon. He was a dwarf who murdered his own father over a cursed treasure hoard, and the greed itself slowly turned his body into a monster. The hero who kills him does it by hiding in a pit and stabbing upward through the one unarmored patch on his underside, the first recorded weak spot dragon kill in Western storytelling. Every single time a movie dragon goes down because someone found the one gap in its armor, that's Fafnir's fight, recycled for 800 years. Jörmungandr. And then there's the one. Too big to fight at all. Jörmungandr doesn't live in a cave or guard a hoard. Norse myth says it's wrapped completely around the entire world, gripping its own tail in its teeth. As long as it holds on, the world stays intact. Norse cosmology says, the moment it lets go and rises is the moment the end of the world begins. A final battle with Thor that kills them both. Every apocalyptic world serpent you've seen since, in games or movies, is someone quietly borrowing this one. Apophis. Stargate SG named one of its most powerful villains, after this creature for a reason. In actual Egyptian mythology, Apophis is a massive serpent that attacks the sun god Ra's boat every single night as it crosses through the underworld. This wasn't treated as bedtime story symbolism. Egyptian priests performed real daily rituals, reciting curses and burning wax figures of the serpent, specifically to help Ra win and guarantee the sun would rise again. For over 3,000 years, an entire civilization believed skipping that ritual could genuinely end the world by morning. Tiamat. And if you've ever played Dungeons & Dragons, you already know the five-headed dragon queen sitting at the top of the entire cosmology. The name isn't a coincidence. D&D borrowed it directly from Babylonian mythology, where the real Tiamat isn't a creature living in the world, she predates it. She's the primordial goddess of saltwater chaos, and the god Marduk kills her and splits her body in half to physically form the sky and the earth. Every mountain, every ocean in Babylonian belief exists, because a dragon goddess was defeated and turned into the raw material of reality itself.